Hello, dragon trainers. You have stumbled upon Raising Dragons with Mama Swan, your interdimensional podcast where we remind you that nobody knows what they are doing. Today, I was inspired by one of my friends on this topic. Actually, you do have emotions. You just lie to yourself or express them differently. And your dragons are the same way. I'm sure someone in your life at some point has said something on the lines of, it's not that you have the emotions, it's what you do with them. And if they haven't told you that, well, I'm glad we're talking about this now. The longer you live, the more your emotions either control you or are your guide to what's going on in your life. When you've been through traumatic experiences, your emotions will come back if you have anything that is even similar to the situation that had happened before. And it might not be a situational thing. It might be a smell. It might be something you see. Any of your senses can let you know, oh my God, this is familiar. And very likely, you don't want to go through that again. But is this situation the same? And are you able to think clearly through the situation? And if it's something that's difficult for you, how much more difficult do you think it is for your dragons who have learned from you? Emotions can either be a hindrance or they can be your teacher. For me, I lost a rabbit a couple years ago. Frankly, before that, I would probably have thought this was funny if somebody else did it, but I went ahead and called off work. And I just took the day to grieve and miss my rabbit and let me feel the emotions, watch some shows that made me cry so that I could get it out easily. It was great. It was exactly what I needed. However, it was also the first time I had made space to do this. So then my body and brain reacted with, oh, we're going to mourn things now? Excellent. We have all these other folks that you have lost along the years, and I think it's about time we focus on that as well. That was not what I had made time for, but we made it work. Just because you did not react to something at the time does not mean it didn't affect you, although it's cute that you thought it did. Now, if you've ever had any adolescent dragons in your life, then you know that that is a time where emotions get incredibly loud for everyone. Like, the days of foot stomping are a little rarer. The door slammings might increase. The fire breathing definitely will increase. And if you do it at its very best, your dragon will learn how to spread its wings. However, most people do not encourage dragons to spread their wings. It's because they are fire breathers. If you've ever stepped outside your cave, then you know all too well that a lot of people out there are going to shame you for expressing emotions. And they're going to shame your dragons for expressing their emotions even more. Because for some reason, people are really bold around dragons and think they can just say or do whatever around dragons. Well, no, that's not entirely true, actually. There are a lot of people that are very conscientious of what they say and do around dragons, but that's not actually because they are fearful of dragons as they should be. It's because they are afraid of dragon trainers, because dragon trainers can be very belligerent when it comes to their dragons. Of course, there's also the fact that dragons are also truth tellers, and people don't want to behave around dragons because they know dragons will tell on them. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but one day the dragons will tell on them. When the warrior dragon was younger, he was asked by a professional whether me and my co-dragon trainer fought. And he very seriously said yes. And I had to like rack my brain. What is he talking about? And I had to think about his experience around us. And I suddenly realized, oh my God, he means our tickle fights. He's literally talking about our tickle fights. And thankfully, the professional was obviously experienced. And she was like, okay, what do they do? And he very seriously said, tickling. And boy, was that a relief. My emotions were relieved. You have been listening to Raising Dragons with Mama Swan. I'll see you next time, Dragon Trainers.